Ozzie and Harriet, starring the entire Nelson family. Here is Ozzie, who plays the part of Ozzie Nelson. And, of course, his lovely wife, Harriet, as Harriet Nelson. The older of the Nelson boys, David, appears as David Nelson. And his younger brother, the irrepressible Ricky, played by Ricky Nelson. The Nelson's next-door neighbor, Thorny, is played by Don DeFore.
Can I help you carry out the dishes after dinner, Mom?
Well, that's very thoughtful of you, dear, but I think you better get on your homework. I can take care of the dishes.
Well, gee, if you won't let me help you, I can't ask you this favor.
What favor is that?
Well, I was kind of hoping I could go over to Will Thornberry's tonight.
Well, don't you have any homework to do?
Well, sure, but I can do it in school tomorrow.
No, I think you better do your homework tonight and see Will tomorrow.
Oh, gee, that's what I always do, homework.
Well, we've all been through it.
You know what they say. All homework and no will makes life a bitter pill.
Hey, wait, will you? I don't want any of that corn to rub off on me.
He's a dandy.
Well, the answer is, when you've got an unpleasant task to do it right away. Don't keep putting it off. I've told you that 100 times.
Yeah, but that's always a hard thing to do.
Which reminds me, don't forget your dentist appointment tomorrow.
Holy smokes, not again.
Now, wait a minute, Ricky. You talk about the dentist as if you were an executioner.
Well, he's a nice man, but golly.
Look, you may have a couple of uncomfortable moments, but the only thing to do is take it like a man. Just set your teeth and see the thing through.
Well, if you say so.
I hate to break in here, but I don't want this to get too far out of hand.
Well, don't you think what I'm saying makes sense?
Yes, I do, and I'm glad to hear you say it, because the appointment isn't for Ricky, it's for you.
For me?
Yes, sirree.
Oh, but I thought... Oh, I mean, didn't Dr. Smith go east for the dental convention or something?
Yes, but Dr. Taylor's handling his appointments.
Dr. Taylor? I've never even heard of him.
Well, he's a young dentist here in town, and very good, too, I understand.
Well, Harriet, I'm certainly not going to have some Johnny-come-lately sticking his clumsy hands in my mouth.
Well, I'm sure he's a very capable man, or Dr. Smith wouldn't recommend him.
Well, I know, but I don't see any sense in going to a strange dentist. Besides, I'd probably have no work to be done.
Well, he said Dr. Smith sent your x-rays over to him.
You're making a big production out of nothing.
Aren't you going to go, Pop?
Your mother made the appointment. Evidently, I don't have any choice.
Maybe the dentist won't show up.
I don't like to change the subject, but have you got anything planned for Saturday evening?
Oh, I don't think so. Why?
I mean, you're coming home for dinner?
Oh, yeah? Did you invite somebody over?
Yes, I did. I met the cutest girl over at Mary Dunkel's the other day. And she's new in town, doesn't know very many people.
Oh, well, what are you going to do? Throw a big party for her?
Oh, no, I just thought you might know some attractive young man.
Oh, Harriet, for goodness sakes, why do you gals always have to be matchmakers?
She's a very cute girl, and you wait till you meet her.
Well, I'm sure she is, but, oh, gosh, I don't know anybody to invite over.
Well, we really don't have to have anybody else.
Besides, aren't you starting a little early this year? The mating season doesn't start until after April Fool's Day, does it?
She's a very attractive girl, and it would be nice if we had somebody to introduce her to.
You could introduce her to me.
I think you better introduce yourself to that homework, young fella.
So do I.
It sure takes a guy a long time to grow up.
Well, maybe so, but it takes an awful short time to grow old, so enjoy it while you can, boys.
Oh, speaking of enjoying yourself, and I use the term loosely, what time is my dental appointment tomorrow?
3 o'clock. Is that okay?
Well, yes. I guess I don't have much choice.
Well, now, don't start worrying about it.
Well, I'm not worrying about it, Harriet. Probably won't have anything done anyway. Maybe just a little cleaning of my teeth. Besides, as Ricky said, maybe the dentist might not even show up. Good afternoon. My name is Nelson. I had an appointment with Dr. Taylor.
Oh, yes, I know, Mr. Nelson. I'm afraid I have some very bad news for you. Dr. Taylor was called away on an emergency.
Oh, really? How about that?
He just called and said he'd be gone the rest of the afternoon. I'm so sorry. It was most unexpected.
Oh, that's perfectly okay.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Oh, well, I'm afraid I can't make another appointment for you. Dr. Taylor hurried away before I was able to check his appointment book with him.
Oh, well, that's really okay.
Well, I certainly hope the rest of the patients are as understanding as you are. I've only been with Dr. Taylor a few days and haven't really had a chance to get acquainted.
Oh, well, I'm sure the others will be understanding.
Well, they will be if they're all understanding young men like you are.
Oh, thank you, but I'm really not so, understanding.
I hope you won't think I'm too bold, but isn't that one of those new suits with the natural shoulders you're wearing?
Oh, well, yes, it is.
Oh, well, it looks perfectly stunning. You know, all the really smart young men were wearing those when I left home.
Oh, is that so? Thank you very much.
It's so silly to wear those big shoulder pads when a man is naturally broad-shouldered like you are.
Well, I'm not really so understanding.
That color's most becoming, too. What is that?
Oh, this is, sort of, I guess, you would, probably call this gray.
Well, it certainly goes perfectly with your blue eyes. They are blue, aren't they?
Oh, yes, they are. How nice of you to notice.
In fact, I'm knitting a pair of socks that would go perfectly with that suit.
Oh?
Here they are. How do you like them?
Oh, yes, they're very nice.
Unfortunately, I've already promised this pair to my brother back home, but if you really like them, I could get some more of the material.
Oh, thank you very much, but I received several pairs of socks similar to that for Christmas.
Oh, well, if you should change your mind, just let me know.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very nice. Well, I guess I'll be going then.
I'll make another appointment for you as soon as I check with Dr. Taylor.
Oh, okay. Oh, I tell you, there is one thing you could do for me if you would. Dr. Taylor has some x-rays of mine that he was going to look over, and I am kind of anxious to know sort of what's in store for me.
Well, he's going to call back here later on. I'll tell you what, I'll ask him about them, and then you can call me at home. My number is Gladstone 3974.
Oh, well, thanks a lot, but I wouldn't want to put you to all that trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. That number is Gladstone 3974.
Yes. Well, on second thought, I think possibly it might be better if I didn't know. That is, about the x-rays.
Why don't I write my number down for you, just in case?
Well, it's really not that urgent.
Well, if you should change your mind, you can call me at home. That number is Gladstone 3974.
Well, okay. Well, if I get a chance, I'll call you. And if I don't, I'll contact the office at the beginning of the week.
You be sure and do that now, you hear? And it's been such a pleasure meeting you. I can't remember when I've met such a charming gentleman.
Oh. Oh, gee, thanks. Well, goodbye. You all.
Hi, Thorny, old boy. Hi, Oz.
Where have you been?
Down in the dentist's office. I had an appointment with him.
Well, what did he give you, laughing gas or something?
No. I got a wonderful break, though, Thorny.
Yeah?
Yeah, it seemed the dentist was called out on an emergency, and I spent a delightful time chatting with his very charming receptionist.
Well, Oz, you lucky dog.
Of course, it was all very innocent and everything, but you know, Thorny, she seemed to... Well, now, of course, you know I'm not the guy who goes around... And I'm sure she was probably just kidding about the socks, but...
Well, come on, Oz. Don't stop there. It's beginning to sound interesting.
She was knitting this pair of socks, Thorny, and she offered to knit a pair for me, too.
You're kidding, Oz?
No. As a matter of fact, she was going to give me the pair she was knitting, but she said she'd already promised those to her brother.
Well, that was probably just an excuse. What was the matter? Was it the wrong size or wrong color, maybe?
No. The color was fine. As a matter of... Well, this is kind of embarrassing, but...
She said she thought they'd go perfect with my blue eyes.
Blue eyes? Wowee! You must have really turned on the charm, doll face.
Now, wait a minute, Thorny. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I mean, this was nothing serious.
Imagine having this babe fall all over you. Oh, tell me, what lines you use?
Oh, no. Don't be silly. I didn't say a word.
I see. You used the strong, silent approach, huh?
No.
Well, what approach did you use?
Well, I just walked... No, Thorny. I didn't approach her at all.
Oh, she approached you?
No.
Wait a minute. It's obvious that one of you is not telling the truth.
If you excuse me, Thorny, I'm going in the house. I don't have to stand here.
Yeah, Oz. But just out of curiosity, what was the girl's reaction when you told her you were married?
I didn't tell her I was married.
You didn't tell her?
Well, of course not, Thorny. The subject didn't come up. Now, look, this girl was a receptionist...
Oz, please. I'd rather you wouldn't tell me any more about it. I just don't want to get mixed up in anything like this.
Go ahead, have your fun.
All I gotta say is, Oz, you just better watch your step, you sly old dog.
Hi, what you doing?
I'm just trying on a couple of neckties for color combinations. How does maroon go with blue? That goes okay, doesn't it?
Yes. What have you got on this blue?
Oh, my... Well, don't I have a dark blue suit? I think I used to have a dark blue suit. Then I have a couple of blue shirts.
Well, yes, and don't forget your baby blue eyes.
Just a second, Harriet. Has Thorny been over here by any chance?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, he was a little while ago.
I thought so, the big blabbermouth. Well, Harriet, for goodness sakes, you certainly must realize there was absolutely nothing between this girl and myself. I never saw before in my life, and there was absolutely nothing between us except a perfectly innocent conversation. I mean, the girl was a little lonesome, and I perhaps seemed understanding in a fatherly sort of a way, but chances are I'll never see the girl again the rest of my life. And as for Thorny, I'm surprised at him for starting such a ridiculous rumor.
What has Thorny got to do with it?
Well, wasn't he the one who blabbed the whole thing?
Well, no, he came over to borrow a pack of cigarettes. Now, what's this about you and some girl?
Well, and how come... Well, why doesn't Thorny... Well, how did you find out about my blue eyes?
Well, you've always had blue eyes. Now, what's this about a girl? When did this happen?
Well, you remember I told you I made this appointment with the dentist, and when I went over there, he didn't show up?
No, you didn't tell me he didn't show up.
Oh, well, I intended to tell you. Well, anyway, Thorny and I got kidding around. You know how Thorny and I do, making mountains out of molehills.
Well, for goodness sakes, dear, you don't have to explain if I can't trust you after all these years.
Oh, well, yes. Darn that Thorny anyway.
What's the matter with Thorny?
Well, why can't he buy his own cigarettes instead of coming over here and bumming them off of us?
Hadn't you better get dressed?
What for?
Oh, remember, I told you Kathy's coming to dinner tonight. She's that little girl from out of town. I told you about it.
Oh, yes, I believe you did mention something about it the other night at dinner. What'd you say her name was?
Kathy. Kathy Calhoun.
Calhoun? Well, that's a southern name, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's from South Carolina or Georgia or someplace down there. She has the cutest southern accent. Wait till you meet her. Oh, which reminds me, I better phone and see if she has any way of getting over here.
Maybe if she has no way of getting over here, she'd feel better if we forgot the whole thing or made it another night.
If she doesn't have a car, you can drive over and pick her up.
No, I'm sure she wouldn't want to put us to all that trouble.
What's no trouble?
Yes, it is, Harriet.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, well, who's picking her up, you or me?
You are, and it's very kind of you.
Well, Harriet.
Just a minute, dear. See, what was that number again? Gladstone 3939...
74.
Well, that's right. How did you know?
How did I know what?
Her phone number. I said Gladstone 39, you said 74.
Oh, that! Well, it's only natural that when you say 3-9, I'm going to say 7-4.
I don't get it.
Well, 9 and 3 is 12, and 7 and 4 is 11, and 1 is 12.
Oh. Well, I never was very good at arithmetic.
It'd be funny if she forgot all about it. Wasn't even home.
Hello, Kathy? Harriet Nelson. You haven't forgotten that you're having dinner with us tonight, have you?
She's probably made other plans.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, sure. It's better that way.
Ozzie, please.
Oh.
Oh, wonderful. I'm anxious to hear all about it. Would you like my husband to pick you up? He's very good at that sort of thing. Oh, fine, Kathy. We'll look forward to seeing you. Goodbye.
She's coming over?
Yes, she's already ordered a cab. She says she's just bursting with news. She's got this new job, and she's got this terrible crush on somebody. She wants to tell me all about it.
Harriet, let me get this straight. Now, you say this girl has just been in town for a few days. She's from the South, and the number you called was Gladstone 3974?
Yes, that's right.
Did she say who she was working for?
Well, no, she just said she was a receptionist for some dentist. Something the matter, dear?
No, I think I'll go upstairs and kill myself. And,
Ozzie, where are you going? You act as if you're afraid to meet this girl. Hello, Cassie.
Harriet, honey, it was so sweet of you to ask me over.
Well, it's such fun to have you. I want you to meet my husband.
now, let's be sensible about this.
Nelson, how do you do?
Oh, how do you do?
Your charming wife has been telling me so much about you.
Oh, thank you.
Is something the matter with your face, dear?
No, I just thought I'd call the boys. David, Ricky.
Boys are going to Mother's for dinner.
Oh.
Here, let me take your coat, Cassie.
Oh, thank you, Harriet.
We're so glad that you could come over.
Well, I hope I'm not late.
Oh, no. Come on in and tell me all the news. I'm just dying to hear about
Well,
it.
I must admit, I certainly have been enjoying myself in your fair city.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Dinner's practically ready. Ozzie, would you mind carving a roast, please?
Oh, it's out in the kitchen.
Mr. Nelson, I hope you'll forgive my staring at you like this, but wait a minute. Of course, now I remember.
Remember what?
There was a boy I used to go with back home who wore a necktie just like that.
Oh. Well, good for him.
And this is David when he was 3 years old.
Oh, my. He certainly looks like his daddy, doesn't he?
Oh, yes, I guess he does.
Oh, I wonder who that could be. Will you excuse me for a minute?
Good evening, Mrs. Nelson.
Well, Dr. Taylor, come on in.
Thank you. I thought I'd stop by and show Mr. Nelson his x-rays. Hope I'm not interrupting.
Oh, not at all. Ozzie, this is Dr. Taylor.
Oh, how do you do, Dr. Taylor?
Mr. Nelson, sorry I missed you at the office yesterday. I was called out on an emergency.
Yes, I know your receptionist told me about it. In fact, this is a bit of a coincidence.
Miss Calhoun, what a surprise.
Well, for goodness sake.
You two know each other?
Oh, yes, indeed. Miss Calhoun's my receptionist. And a very good one, too.
Won't you sit down, Dr. Taylor? May I take your hat?
Oh, thank you. I can only stay for a moment.
You know, Mr. Nelson, something just occurred to me.
Oh, what's that?
Well, all evening I've had the strangest feeling I've seen you before.
Oh?
Yes, and it suddenly dawned on silly little old me. We met in Dr. Taylor's office. You were the 3 o'clock appointment yesterday.
By golly, you may be right. You know, come to think of it, you look sort of familiar to me, too.
Well, I have such an awful memory for faces. But then so many people come into Dr. Taylor's office. He's very popular.
Well, I try to do my humble best.
Dr. Taylor?
Oh, Mrs. Nelson.
Oh, no, stay there. May I get your cup of coffee?
No, thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Nelson, but I really only stopped in to,
To tell Mr. Nelson about his x-ray.
Yes, that's right. And what a surprise finding Miss Calhoun here. A very pleasant surprise, I might add.
Oh, thank you, Doctor. To tell you the truth, I hardly recognized you in that new suit.
Oh, do you like it?
Oh, it looks perfectly stunning. All the really smart young men were wearing those when I left home. I especially like those natural shoulders.
I'm glad you approve.
Oh, yes. I think it's so silly to wear those big shoulder pads when a man is naturally broad-shouldered like you are.
Thank you.
In fact, I'm knitting a pair of socks that will match that suit.
Well,
Oh, my goodness, look at the time. Oh, Harriet, I'm afraid I'll have to be running along.
Oh, so soon, Kathy?
Well, I hate to leave, but I wouldn't want to miss that last bus. It's so cold tonight, and I hate standing on that corner so long.
Miss Calhoun, I'd be happy to drive you home.
Oh, Doctor, I wouldn't think of taking you so far out of your way.
Oh, nonsense. It's no trouble at all.
Well, if you're sure.
I'm fine. Let me get the coat.
Oh, thank you, Doctor. Isn't he charming? Oh, Harriet, I had a perfectly wonderful time.
Oh, well,
thank you so
glad
much.
you could come, Kathy. Good night.
Good night, Mrs. Nelson.
Good night, Dr. Taylor.
And Mr. Nelson.
Good night, Dr. Taylor.
Good night, and thanks again.
Good night.
Good night, Kathy. Well, dear, did you enjoy yourself?
Oh, yes, I had a very nice evening. That Calhoun girl really pours it on, doesn't she? I'm a little surprised at Dr. Taylor.
In what way?
Oh, you know, falling for that corny stuff.
What corny stuff?
Well, you know, that routine she handed him about the big broad shoulders and knitting him the pair of socks. That's such obvious flattery.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Well, you mean you think she meant all that?
Well, maybe she did. Remember she told me on the telephone that she'd met somebody she was crazy about? I think it was Dr. Taylor.
Well, that's possible. On the other hand, this could just be a routine that she hands every guy she meets.
Oh, I don't think so. She strikes me as being too smart for that.
Oh, this is marvelous.
What are you marvelousing about?
Well, Harriet, I have news for you. When I met Kathy yesterday in Dr. Taylor's office, she pulled the same routine on me, word for word. Now, that was yesterday. So she came here to dinner tonight, and she didn't even recognize me. What do you think of that?
I think she's a pretty smart girl. Blue eyes. What do you think?
I think women are very confusing. Harriet.
Yes, dear?
Doesn't it strike you as being quite a coincidence that Dr. Taylor just happened to stop by here tonight when this gal was here?
Well, he said he had your x-rays.
Well, if he stopped by to tell me about the x-rays, why didn't he tell me?
Probably slipped his mind.
Now I don't know whether I have any work to be done or not.
Well, if it'll make you rest any easier, according to the x-rays, your teeth are perfect. You have nothing to be done at all.
Well, who told you this?
Dr. Taylor?
Well, just a second. I didn't hear him say a word.
Oh, he told me over the phone.
Well, when was this?
Oh, about an hour ago when I sneaked out to phone him.
You phoned him?
Well, sure. How do you suppose he found out Kathy was here?
Gee, women sure are confusing. Oh, I said that before, didn't I? Well, good night.